The headlines. Rescue teams are racing against time to find a deep-diving tourist submersible that went missing near the wreck of the Titanic. The U.S. Coast Guard says that the vessel now has less than 40 hours of breathable air on board.
Our crews are working around the clock to ensure that we are doing everything possible to locate the Titan and the 5 crew members.
And a glimmer of hope in the search for the missing Titanic sub. The US Coast Guard says rescuers have heard underwater noises near to where the vessel was lost.
Now let's have a look at this morning's papers, and of course the hunt for the missing submersible continues to dominate lots of the front pages this morning.
It's on every single one, isn't it, this morning? Here's the Daily Mail leading with pictures of the 5 men who are missing and including comments by the US Coast Guard late last night, who said that the breathable air on the vessel could all be used up by 10 a.m. tomorrow UK time.
Relatives of the British nationals on board have gathered in the Canadian town of St John's from where the mission set off, and they are praying for a miracle as they face an agonising wait for news. That's according to the Daily Mirror today.
A story about safety concerns on board leads the Times this morning, the paper reporting that former passengers have previously spoken out about the sub's safety and said that communication outages were sometimes common.
And of course, you can go straight to the BBC News website for the very latest on the story, including a video that the BBC filmed just in 2022 showing the inside of the Ocean Gate submersible. You can also follow our live webpage as that search continues.
President Joe Biden's son strikes a deal on federal tax and gun charges. However, critics call it a slap on the wrist. And the social media influencer Andrew Tate is charged in Romania with rape, human trafficking, and forming a criminal organization to exploit women. I want to take you to Honduras, where police say more than 40 people have been killed at a women's prison during a clash between rival gangs. Reports say one of the gangs locked rival gang members in a cell and set it on fire. It's thought 25 of the inmates burnt to death and others were shot. Let's go. The Chinese Premier Li Qiang has been continuing his visit to European Union countries as Beijing seeks to maintain economic ties with the bloc. After meeting with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, Mr. Li said Germany and China should work together to invigorate the global economy. Mr. Scholz, however, said that Berlin is continuing to seek to diversify its trading partners. French police have raided the headquarters of the committee organizing next year's Paris Olympics. The National Financial Prosecutor's Office said that the raid is related to a preliminary investigation that was launched in 2017 into contracts made by the Summer Games Organizing Committee. The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in the United States on a 3-day official visit, described as a turning point in bilateral relations. He and President Biden are expected to discuss defense cooperation and sharing of high technology. Mr. Modi is also addressing a joint session of Congress on Thursday. Well, here's some good news for those of us who like to nap. Regular napping during the day could help to preserve brain health. Now, researchers at University College in London found that nappers' brains were 15 cubic centimeters larger than those who don't indulge in a daytime snooze, which is the equivalent of delaying aging by 3 to 6 years. Well, that's good news.
Hundreds of protesters clashed with police in northern Argentina over proposed controversial reforms headed by Jesuit Governor Gerardo Morales. Protesters broke windows of the offices of the Legislative Power headquarters and flipped cars upside down, setting them on fire. Police used tear gas to disperse crowds of protesters who were throwing stones at them amid the confrontation.